Here's Michael Patrick Shields.
Welcome to the Mid-Michigan Business Wrap. Michael Patrick Shields with you here, as the big voice guy just said, but you can be here too. We are in our Gillespie Group storefront studio. That's right on the Avenue of Michigan, right across from the baseball stadium here in downtown Lansing, and just a couple blocks from the Capitol, in fact. The studio, furnished by Corporate Office Interiors. You can go to corporateofficeinteriors.com today and get their design team to come to your place tomorrow. But come on by. We're also attached to the Great Lakes Chocolate and Coffee Company. We have a nice crowd in there today of business people all discussing ideas in a lighthearted fashion. And there's my producer, Amanda Wall, in there, just sort of carrying on and enjoying herself right in the middle of the program. See, that's how real it is. We just get around and talk. It's not even like a show. It's just like a brainstorming session. And we really want you to come here in person one of these days and bring all your friends or bring your employees down for a little bit of motivation, a little bit of inspiration, and a little bit of fun, too. You can find us online at spotlightmm.com if you want to see the Mid-Michigan Business Wrap, connect with our panelists. They are all very willing to talk with you about anything, even if it isn't about their business. If you've got a question about your business and maybe you want to commiserate about, what about this idea, or how did that work for you? They are more than willing to do that, and you can connect with them online. It's spotlightmm.com. Spotlightmm.com is where you connect, and you can hear the program again. If you heard something and you're in the car maybe right now and you say, oh, I'd like to hear that again, what they were talking about, you can go right back there and do that too. We discuss very often what's in the news today and business ideas. Our phone line is open too if you want to chat with us at 888-900-9966. That's 888-900-9966. What we do to start the program typically is we go around the table so that you can recognize the voice when you hear this thing get going, because after all decorum is thrown away once we get started. All ideas are tossed around, and you're going to hear the following expert panelists today, starting with my left.
Good morning, Bob Hedlund from Hedlund Plumbing. I couldn't help but to notice in the paper, the one that caught my eye this morning was the article about the guy that got caught red-handed in the basement of an empty house stealing the copper out of the house.
No kidding.
And,
they're still doing that,
kudos to I think it's slowed down. One, a lot of the empty houses have already had the copper taken out of. That's the biggest part, but it's still going on. But I was just going to say kudos. The Neighborhood Watch group actually worked. A neighbor saw suspicious activity, said the block leader. They called the police. They showed up and caught him in the basement, and right in their tracks.
So people essentially will go in and the copper piping
they cut
and
it all out. We've had them. We had a house about a year ago that we repiped, and they didn't even bother to shut the water off at the water meter. They just took the saw. Most of the time they use the battery operated, the little battery sawzalls or battery saws. No cords, no electricity needed. They go in there with a battery pack and start cutting.
And the water goes all over the place?
This one, it flooded the basement completely out.
Jeez.
And, just started cutting it out, and they cut up level with the floor level, and that's moderate if they do it, stay only in the basement. Sometimes they'll get up into opening up walls, and they do the same thing with electrical, too, stealing the electrical wire out. I've seen houses where they do that.
What do they do with the copper then?
Then they take it over to some of the scrap houses, and there's a couple of them here in Lansing, and they try to sell the copper off. But I know now, and that's, I think, a big part of stopping a lot of the problem, is because when you take copper, you have to disclose. They scan your driver's license, and then you have to disclose where the copper came from. And obviously, they're not going to put house numbers. So it's getting more and more difficult. I mean, as far as when you take material back, we recycle all our water heaters and copper, anything steel, we do take in and recycle, and we have a disclosure that we have to do.
Is there that much money that they get for the
Yeah,
copper?
how
to
much
make
do
it
you
worth
get?
it? How
Not
much
enough.
do you get?
How much?
Total on there would probably be, to do an entire house, I'll bet it wouldn't be $50. So
Jeez.
It's
Wow. It just
not
doesn't
enough
seem
to
worth
take
it.
the risk.
No.
How long do you think it must take? Because you can do this about an hourly. I mean, how much would it cut? How much would it
Yeah,
take?
you're losing. I mean, we once in a while we'll even have it to where they'll haul out the water heater. They'll take the whole thing, take anything
Really?
steel, and haul it out. I saw one house that I went and did an estimate. The light fixtures were gone, literally all the wiring, the copper. If it was metal, it was gone.
Wow.
They just
Just
strip
doesn't
them
seem
right
worth it for that little amount of money.
That's what you and I think that way, but I guess somebody is desperate on the street or whatever. But
Yeah.
it's fortunately it is slowing down. We aren't seeing quite as many as we used to be.
And they are really strict, too, when you go there. I know we've recycled printer components that we've pulled out and replaced, and I had to give them a thumbprint.
Yes.
And my ID
Oh,
and
really?
everything just, and it ended up being,
That's
I had a
good.
whole truckload pickup truck full, and it was only like $65, $70. But still, even for that, it was.
Yeah,
what they should be doing.
That's
That's
typical to.
That is Scott Farragon from Cartridge World talking with Bob Hedlund from Hedlund Plumbing. And before I get back to Scott, just want to say you overheard me saying that I'm going to Destination Kohler is what they call it this
Yes, I
weekend,
heard
Whistling Straits in Wisconsin. I guess I didn't make the connection till you. That's like the plumbing headquarters of the world, isn't
Been
it?
over there and stayed there several years ago. We went, and just you are absolutely going to love it. Absolutely, just take the time and look around and just take it all in. Especially when you get to the one with the sand trap alley. There's over 1,000 sand traps in the 18 holes.
Yeah,
And,
Whistling Straits.
It's you're going to feel like you're down in the Southwest.
I take it the bathrooms will be awfully nice
They will be. They will be. Yes.
at
they-
the
they will.
American Club because Herb Kohler is the current member of the Kohler family
That is
running
correct.
that. And are they the number one plumbing
They're
company?
the largest in America, I believe. Worldwide, they're not, but they're definitely high-end, very quality fixtures. And the nice part about Kohler is they have high-end fixtures, but they also have what I'll call entry-level. You don't have to. It's not going to break the bank to use their fixtures. And we have a lot of builders. We have people that use that because they want the name Kohler on the house, but yet we can still be competitive with it. So they do cover all at the price spectrum both ways.
I guess the car business is the same way, Cheryl Freeborough from Freeborough Automotive, Hyundai of Lansing. You can get a Hyundai that's top end at a certain price and
Luxury
at
car.
low end, and it's still a Hyundai.
Yeah, and then we say it the same way, an entry-level vehicle all the way up to a luxury vehicle and everything in between. So, and that's what you need to bring in all customers. In fact, Kim Laferette and I were talking about that with housing, because sometimes people come to her and think that she only sells high-end houses, and she also sells entry-level, low-priced houses, and how does she get that message across? So I think that's true in a lot of industries. Do you do that with printers, too? Do you see? Have you seen? I know your printer cartridge is
It's
different.
printer cartridges. I don't see as much.
No?
Well, with the businesses, yes, because people will come in and assume that we only do the desktop printers with the small inkjet cartridges. But we also redo the laser printers and the high volume cartridges, anywhere from a cartridge that would print, say, 110 pages up to 20,000
So
pages.
you have all kinds of levels
yes,
as well.
we do.
I always thought that was interesting, but to me it was a mistake for a company like Jaguar, for instance, to create an entry-level Jaguar. I'd never liked that idea. Mercedes
No.
tried to do it too, didn't they? And it
Yeah,
never
I
sat
don't,
right
I
with
don't
me.
understand that. I don't think people would understand what entry level meant at that point.
It was low 30s or something like
Yeah.
that. But I mean, who wanted to be driving the fake Jaguar? It just seemed,
Yeah.
like it devalued the brand to me. Does
Yeah,
that
I would
make any
think
sense?
so too. Yeah, I would think so too.
But just to wrap this Kohler part up, I understand there's a museum to plumbing at this
Yes,
resort.
there is.
Isn't
There's
that funny?
a fabulous museum.
Is
there.
it?
And I would highly recommend to see that.
I'll see
and
it
if
for
you
sure, but
have
it sounds
time,
funny.
What's really neat too is if you can actually they do factory tours there.
All right.
And where you're going to see the raw cast iron being formed into the tubs. You're going to see how the china, whether it's lavatories, toilets, all that.
Can I get my
cars
own
going through
custom-made toilet? That would be pretty
If you know
exciting.
the right people, you might be able to.
Mr. Herb, can
There you go.
let's talk about this. Scott Farragon, back to you from Cartridge World. I understand you were spotted on the Mackinac Bridge this weekend.
I was. My wife was running the bridges the Monday morning, and ran into your wife when we were up there, and she said that you were walking also. I was surprised at the event and how large it was because, well, I mean, there's only 400 people that are actually selected to run, but then anybody can walk it, and it's, I don't know what it was like 30 or 40,000 people walk.
Yeah, 45,000 people. There's no
45,000.
charge or anything. You just start hoofing it. Took
So it
me
was-
90 minutes. It took the runner, I walked, and it took the runners 35, 40, 45 minutes about.
Correct. Yep.
I don't know if anybody else finds this a little bit funny, but I heard that Jennifer Granholm, this was her last run as a governor, and she had said that she hopes that the next governor will do the same as she's done and run it and I just couldn't picture either Verge Bonero or Rick Schneider running.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you think?
I thought that was kind of funny. I laughed when I heard that. She said, "I hope the next governor will run also."
Well,
As far as size and being in shape, I could see either one of them. I don't know.
Can
I
you?
have no idea.
I know that,
I don't know why I
yeah, I
thought
can
that
see
funny.
Verge Bernero works out at the Y, I think.
Okay.
And I don't know anything about Rick Snyder and his
No,
athletic
so it'll be
prowess.
interesting to see if
It was
they
an
run
interesting
next year.
behind-the-scenes challenge for
Yeah,
him.
I thought that was a little
is.
challenge.
To leave it
Yeah,
up,
yeah,
sure.
They can at
yeah.
least try, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah, I mean, but it's uphill halfway.
Oh, well, then it's downhill
2.5
the other
miles
half.
downhill the other half.
At least the second half is downhill.
That's
Of
right.
course, just start practicing today, then they'll be ready next year.
Speaking of running, I'll give you some new figures in the race for governor in just a minute. But first, Cheryl Freeborough, I mentioned,
Yes.
from Freeborough Automotive, Hyundai of Lansing. Welcome back to the program.
Thank you, the lady that keeps interrupting everybody. I'm
No,
sorry.
not at all. This is a round table. That's what we
Hyundai.
do.
Important points. That's right.
And down here at third base, we're going to talk a lot about taxes today.
Okay, good. Craig Godfrey with Godfrey Weisberg, CPAs and advisors.
That's what you do?
I don't mind lapse there, but that's right. Helping clients stay away from the IRS in the state of Michigan. So,
I just saw John Boehner on television, the Republican. He's sort of the leader right now, the Republican Party nationally, and he said he'd like to see a tax freeze for the next 2 years at the rate it's at. Would that be acceptable to you?
yes, that would be great. Yeah,
That'd
I
be
think
better
that'd
than
be
a
very
rate.
positive for America, and that would help companies grow and individuals expand. Those entrepreneurs get more in business and hire people and that type of thing. Because
least they could
have
plan
some-
ahead.
They
Stability.
have some surety. That's right. Some stability.
We'll
some
talk more
ability to
about it
plan
when we
forward.
come back. That's Craig Godfrey from Godfrey Weisberg, CPAs and Advisors. It's 18 after the hour. Mid-Michigan Business Wrap continues in 4 minutes. Stay right there.